It is currently 2000 hours. February. It's not February. Let's try this again. It is currently 2000 hours. February. Oh my gosh, it's not February. Ironman prep. 2000 hours. Friday. What month is it? Oh my gosh. It's September. 2000 hours. Friday, September 20th, 2019. We are 6 weeks out from Ironman Panama City. And I decided I haven't done an Ironman Q&A, question and answer that I opened up on Instagram. So if you're not following me on Instagram, make sure you are right now. It's on the bottom of the screen. Go follow me at Nick Bear Fitness. I opened up a Q&A on Instagram and gathered a bunch of questions, and I want to answer some of those. Now being 6 weeks out from my first, not only triathlon, my first Ironman. Things I've learned, things I've experienced, things that I'm going to do during the race. So let's dive right into it. Question number one is, what is the story of how I signed up for the Ironman? Why did I sign up? And it's actually a pretty interesting story. So if you guys remember a few months back, I did the 100-mile ruck march 4 times, 50 pounds on my back, 100 miles in 30 hours. And I was wrecked. My feet were broke off. After the ruck, I think it was the next day, I got out of bed and I couldn't walk on my feet. My feet were so swollen and black and blue. And Steph was helping me soak them in Epsom salt baths to reduce the swelling and ice my feet. And we thought my feet were broken. I thought both my feet were broken. I could not put any weight on them. So here I am sitting on the couch, and we're debating on whether or not to go to the hospital or not to check my feet to see if they're actually broken. And while we're debating on whether or not to do this, I end up on Ironman's website, and I'm just kind of looking around. And I may have told this story before, so I'm sorry if I have. But I'm just looking around on Ironman's website, and it's one of those things that I've always wanted to do. And when I decided and committed to actually signing up for the Ironman, I truly didn't know exactly what it was. I didn't know what I was getting myself into. I knew it was a swim. I knew there was a bike portion. I knew there was a run portion, but I didn't necessarily know the distances. Major reason that I was so attracted to the Ironman is because it's an ultra distance triathlon. It covers 140 miles. And the reason that I was so attracted to this is because I wanted to learn more about ultra distance endurance events. And for me, there's no better way to learn about something other than putting myself through it and doing it. So going into this Ironman, I knew nothing about triathlons, definitely knew nothing about Ironman events. Had to really learn how to swim efficiently. I had to learn how to bike and cycle. And I've run marathons before, as you guys know, but that's the story of how I signed up. It was, okay, are we going to go to the hospital and get my feet checked? Or, okay, here's this Ironman. Let's sign up for that. And I'm the type of person where if I want to do something, I commit first and I figure out how to get there. So I was like, you know what, I want to do this. I want to compete and complete this Ironman. Well, let's commit now, then figure out how to get there. Question number 2, what does my recovery look like? I've been getting this question a lot over the past couple months. I started Ironman prep late May, early June, and now it is almost the end of September. And my recovery, I break it down into 3 categories personally. 1 being sleep, 2 being nutrition, and 3 being mobility or some sort of active recovery, right? So I put the emphasis on those 3 different things. Nutrition-wise, and I'll kind of dive into this more in the next question. My diet right now through Ironman prep is so different than it was, say, when I was trying to achieve a bodybuilding or powerlifting physique or performance measure. My diet is so different now as opposed to what it was previously. So I got into fitness, 2009, 2010, when I really got into fitness and the whole fitness industry. And at the time, that's when flexible dieting and if it fits your macros got really popular. or around that time period. And for a while, I was really into that diet. Like I was into tracking my macros to the T every day, and I would try to fit things into my diet that were, not so healthy, quote unquote. And I fell into that diet pattern for a long time. When I shifted my focus, and this is probably a few years ago, from strictly aesthetics, look, to then performance, my diet and nutrition changed with it. And my diet right now, like I haven't tracked macros for this entire prep so far, but I focus wholly, like a lot, on whole natural food sources that are dense in vitamins and minerals. Like I call them powerhouses, nutrient powerhouses. When I'm running, when I'm cycling, when I'm swimming, like the things I'm craving afterwards typically are like fruit or smoothies, like juice smoothies, or like whole natural food sources. So like my emphasis on nutrition right now, obviously my caloric intake has to be sufficient to perform, sustain, and recover, but I'm putting a massive emphasis on food quality, nutrients from that food, and like sources of that food. So nutrition obviously has a massive impact on recovery in any type of physical training, but especially something like this. So not only quantity, but quality as well. And then sleep. So I kind of mix those up. Nutrition was second, sleep was first priority in recovery, okay? I've had the habit the past couple of years, especially coming from the military and building my business while in the military, where sleep was never a priority. And like it was not, if I got 4 to 5 hours of sleep, that was pretty average. Now I'm trying to put more emphasis on sleep. So I'm getting maybe 6 to 7 hours of sleep during the week. Weekends, I'd say at least 8 hours. So my sleep has definitely improved and increased throughout this prep so far. But I will tell you the quality of my sleep is so good. Like when I'm done working at night and I'm wrapping up the day, when my head hits the pillow, it's like that. It is so fast. I fall asleep so fast and I stay asleep, like the deepest sleep ever. Because at the end of the day, my body's it's beat down and tired. Like I'm exhausted at the end of the day from training and work and a bunch of other things. So like when my head hits the pillow, I'm out. And I've had great quality sleep throughout this prep so far. So you got sleep, the importance and emphasis of sleep, nutrition, and then if we talk like mobility and active recovery, like I've showed in the last video, I'm using the Power Dot, which is electric stimulation to the muscles. So I've been using that every night, and especially after brick workouts. And then like some passive mobility and stretching. So I'll do ROMWOD. I have a ROMWOD membership that I'll do every so often, or just getting some passive stretches at the end of the night or the beginning of the day to just loosen up and put my body in positions to just open it up. Like that's the best way to say it. Just open up your body for the workout you're going to go into, or wrapping up the day in preparation for the next. So like those 3 areas of emphasis: sleep, nutrition, mobility, active recovery being like the Power Dot, or mobility being ROMWOD. That kind of caveats. Man, I'm struggling tonight. That leads us into the next question: how many calories am I consuming a day? And it really depends on what the training is. So like I said, I'm not tracking macros, and I'm eating based off of feel. So I'd say at the lowest my calories are maybe 3,500 in a day. At the highest, 6,500. Like after brick workouts on Saturdays, maybe 6,500, 7,000 plus calories on Saturdays. So it really depends on what my training session is for that day and how I'm feeling. So I know my body at this point from doing this stuff for so long that if I'm under eating, I can feel it, and I know I need to eat more that day. Or if I am going into a workout the next day and I can tell I'm not recovering as I normally would from the previous workout, well, it's like, okay, well, what was my nutrition yesterday? What has my nutrition been like today? So I'm very conscious of my hydration, my nutrition all the time. I'm always conscious of what I'm eating, what I've eaten previously, that previous day or that day so far. So my intake is based off of my output. But like I said, the lowest is probably 3,500 calories. the highest can be upwards of 7,000 plus some days. Like brick workouts, if I'm training for 6, 7, 8 hours on a Saturday brick, my calories are stupid high. And I'm just so hungry. What do I expect the hardest part as of right now, as of 6 weeks out, to be the hardest during the Ironman event itself? And, I'd have to say, just based off of training and talking with my coach, Taryn Gissel with Triathlon Taryn, I'd say the hardest part is going to be probably that second half of the run, that last 13.1 miles. So I know my body feels like going from the swim to the bike and the bike into the run. And I know there's going to be a certain point where my body has expended all the energy it really can. Like there's going to be a wall that's hit. The best way to kind of push that wall further is nutrition on the bike and conditioning, obviously, through train up. But I think the hardest part is, I'll be good on the swim, I'll be good on the bike, and then that first half of the run, I think I'll be pretty solid. But I expect to hit a wall probably halfway through that run. And after that, it's going to be like I say, flip that switch, and it's all mindset. That's why nutrition is so important while during the race, is because you have glycogen stores from, stored in your muscles and your liver, glycogen that your body can use as energy. You have, glucose that's circulating your bloodstream from the previous night's dinner and the breakfast from the morning before the race. And then you have the nutrition you can consume on the bike, on the run a little bit, but on the bike is when you have to get all your nutrition in. But your body will utilize all of that energy. It will use all of that glycogen stored in your muscle and your liver, and it'll start breaking down fat for energy as well. But there will be a point where it runs out of energy, or energy that it can efficiently use. And I think it's going to be at that point. And you can project and expect that and train for that. So we'll see. What is next? What is next after the Ironman? Big question. So I actually just signed up for the Austin Marathon, which is February 16th. And I'll actually leave a link below in this description. We are holding an event here at this warehouse here at BPN the day before, February 15th. And we are inviting everyone to come run the Austin Marathon, whether you want to do the 5K, half marathon, or full marathon with us, right? So we established a team at the Austin Marathon. So when you sign up, you can sign up under Team BPN. Team BPN is on your bib. And we're holding an event here the day before, which is going to be like a 1 mile warm-up run. We're going to do a motivational speech just to hang out here, just get hyped and psyched for the next day going to the run. And then everyone will run as Team BPN. So I'll leave a link. You guys can sign up for that. It shows you where to sign up for the Austin Marathon if you guys want to travel here, if you're local. And then we'll be sending out training programs, the 5K, half marathon, full marathon, September 29th. But that's my next event. The Austin Marathon is my next event, and it's going to be something that's just fun. After that, I really am going to take a little bit of time to kind of just focus on the next thing. There's so much going on with the business right now, with BPN and coming up Embrace the Suck Training, because we're completely rebuilding Embrace the Suck Training's platform, and it's going to be massive and a lot of work. Actually, my buddy who we're hiring is coming down tomorrow, and we're going to start building out a lot of the programming for that platform. So I'm going to take some time to focus on BPN and Embrace the Suck Training, but something that has been on my mind that I want to work towards and accomplish is an ultra marathon. So that's probably going to be the next thing I train for and shoot for after the Austin Marathon. It's just when is that going to be? I'm not really sure right now. But I am looking forward to, after the Ironman, throwing some weight around. Throwing some massive weights around the deadlift, training legs again, and just get in the weight room for a little bit more than I am right now. And like I said, I think the reason that I want to do the ultra marathon is because it's always been something that's been in the back of my head, but even this more so now after training for this Ironman, is I'm learning so much more about fitness in different dimensions other than bodybuilding, powerlifting, CrossFit stuff. Ultra endurance events are truly interesting to me. Like, I want to learn like what the training looks like. I want to learn what the nutrition looks like during the event. I want to learn like how the body reacts to certain things. That's why I'm really enjoying this Ironman training, from not knowing anything about triathlons to here 6 weeks out from an Ironman. Like, I've enjoyed learning this much. It was very humbling in the beginning, and I love learning more about like fitness, health and fitness. So like that's another reason I want to do this ultra marathon. I want to learn, well, what does it take to train for like 100-mile run or something of that distance. I find that pretty cool. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many hours a week am I spending training right now? It is, I'd say it's about 12 hours. It really depends on the week. And that kind of segues to another question. Where am I getting my training from? Like I said, Triathlon Taryn owns Team Trainiac, a training website. And I've been working with him one-on-one and also using the Team Trainiac platform, and I've been loving it. Very straightforward, simple to use, tells me what my workouts are for the day, and they're all based off of my Ironman November 2nd, 2019. So all of the workouts build up towards that, and then me and Taryn hop on calls like every week or every other week and go over training, questions I have about triathlons because I'm brand new, or anything else that I'm experiencing. But that's a platform I'm using. It's I'd say like right now it's 12 hours of training a week, maybe a little bit more. But in the next month, that volume definitely increases. I'm ready to train some more. I'm ready for some long sessions. I will tell you, and I'm gonna check my phone because I want to make sure I get the time right. This past, what did I run? Wednesday or Thursday of this past week, I had a 12-miler to do. And I did 12 miles at a 7:48 minute per mile pace and my heart rate was like not out of control. I ran 12 miles, Steph rode the bike next to me, and we were holding a conversation back and forth majority of that run. And I held, like I said, I posted on Instagram, if you guys saw that post, with my watch, 7:48 minute per mile pace for 12 miles. I felt solid afterwards. I finished the 12 miles and I felt golden. So that's like just a testament to the training program and the work I've been putting in. Feel good right now. What is my realistic time of finishing the Ironman? Like, what am I shooting for? And I got that question a lot early on, and I didn't answer it because I was like, I don't know. I don't know what what time I'm shooting for because I haven't assessed like where I'm at. And I did my 70.3 was like 2 weeks ago, and it was right around 6 hours. And after talking to Taryn, and like we said, okay, we have this much time to train up until the full Ironman. And based off the course that I did it on, it was all hills, and I'm doing it in Panama City where it's pretty flat. Our goal is to run 12 hours, or not run, I guess, swim, bike, and run, to the whole thing, 12 hours or less. So that's what I'm shooting for. Ironman, Panama City, 12 hours or less. That's my goal. Now for the meat and potatoes. Figuratively, it's the nutrition. Meat and potatoes, nutrition. I was trying to segue into that, and it didn't really work. Race day nutrition, what am I doing? I will have my breakfast about 2 hours to an hour and a half prior to the swim. Probably at 2 hours. My breakfast 2 hours prior to the swim. And then like 30 minutes before the swim, I'll get some more carbs in me, just to get some more carbohydrates. So obviously during the swim, I can't do, and the swim is 2.4 miles, I'm not going to be able to intake any food. No drinks or food, obviously, during the swim. Transitioning into the bike is where you have to get as much nutrition in as possible. It's 112 miles, and that's where you set yourself up to sustain for that 112 miles and moving into the full marathon, the 26.2 mile run, immediately after the bike. So my nutrition plan is to consume every hour I'm on the bike between 60 and 90 grams of carbs based off how my stomach's feeling on the event. 60 and 90 grams of carbs per hour and 1,000 milligrams of sodium. And there will be also other electrolytes in there as well. So those are my numbers I'm shooting for every hour. 60 to 90 grams of carbs, and 1,000 milligrams of sodium every hour while I'm on the bike. Now this is going to be between carbohydrate-based powder that I have. So that carbohydrate-based powder, it's like, if I do 3 servings, it's 60 grams of carbs and about 1,000 milligrams of sodium. I'm going to have the gels, so GUs. I use GU on my marathons, and I've loved the way GUs work, and I perform and feel off them. So I'll carry GUs as well, and I will have like salt electrolyte tabs with me. I'll carry on the race, and then some whole foods. So I'll have like some field bars in the back of my tri-suit, but also I think it's like every 15 miles on the course, they're gonna have Gatorade that's packed with electrolytes in it. It's like the endurance Gatorade or something that they use on the course. They're gonna have bananas, some other whole foods. They'll have some gels on the course, some of those blocks. So there's going to be food on the course as well. I don't have to carry it all with me, but that is what I'm shooting for. 60 to 90 grams of carbs every hour, 1,000 milligrams of sodium every hour with added electrolytes as well. And then on the run, I'll fuel as needed at the aid stations. I will tell you, if there is one question I've gotten more than anything else throughout this entire series, it's what is this watch? What watch am I wearing? All right, this is the Garmin 735 XT. That's the one I decided to pick up, and I've loved every feature it has to offer. Like, I've loved this watch. This has been like my baby ever since starting everything. I don't know if you can see. I've worn it the entire time. I don't know if you can see my watch tan at all, but I've been wearing it every single day. And like the thing I love about it is the battery life is next level. The battery life is like, I think I charge it maybe once a week. It lasts like 7 to 8 days for me. Like the last time I've charged this thing was probably 8 days ago, and it still has like 20% battery left. And I remember my last marathon, I wore an Apple Watch because I could sync my music, my AirPods, I could sync to my Apple Watch. So I wore that during the race. My Apple Watch ended up dying before the race was over. I was like, what the shit is this? It's useless. So Garmin 735 XT. Shoes I've been wearing are the Hoka One Ones, the Rincons. Love them. Like, love those shoes. Love this watch. If I could run in just those two things, like I'd run naked and I'd feel fine for everything, I swear. Here's a good one. How do I manage growing a company, Bear Performance Nutrition, preparing for an Ironman, and also having time for my fiance, family, and friends? I will tell you I would love to tell you I've balanced this perfect, but there's no balance right now. Since Ironman prep started, it has been work, train, work, train, work, train, work, train. Now obviously me and Steph work together, my fiance, and I'm with the whole team here when I'm at work. But like when I'm training either in the morning or night, I'm gone. Saturdays, I'm gone pretty much the whole day for my brick workout, whether that's preparing for it, traveling to where I'm going to do the course, executing the plan, and then recovery the rest of the day. I'm pretty much useless after brick workouts on Saturdays. My life has pretty much been work, train, work, train, work, train since like early June. Like, clear example right now, it's Friday night. It is 9:30 p.m. and I'm in the warehouse filming a YouTube video for Ironman prep. And tomorrow morning, I have to wake up and I'm doing 80 miles on the bike and then directly into a 30-minute brick run. So there's not much balance right now. But I will say I've had the best support system, whether that be the community on YouTube. Like, all you guys have been watching the series and giving me feedback. I love it. My fiance Steph, my brother Preston, the whole BPN team here, the whole BPN family. The support's been amazing. But I will tell you, like, it's the balance is definitely there's not much of it. It's work, train, work, train, work, train right now. I like this one right here. What do I think about during the long training sessions? So today was a swim. It was a longer swim today. I went to the lake. And the entire time during the swim, because I was never a swimmer prior to, let's say June, I always am thinking about my form. So it's constantly something. I'm constantly thinking, okay, how's my catch? Am I extending my arms long enough? Am I breathing properly? Am I bringing my head to the side just enough to breathe? I'm not throwing it up. Am I kicking my feet enough? Like, how am I feeling? How am I moving in the water? During the swim, I'm constantly being critical of my form the entire time, because like I can consciously work on things. On the bike, it's a little different. On the bike, I'm shooting for a certain amount of miles within an hour, typically, depending on what course I'm on. So I'm riding for the terrain. So like if I'm going on a climb, okay, all right, let's focus on this climb right here, and then on the backside, hopefully it's a downhill, I can make up some time. And like what I've been shooting for in the beginning was about 17 miles in an hour. Now I'm shooting between 18 and 19 miles per hour on the bike, and using my terrain to my advantage is something I'm always focusing on. So like instead of going into a bike and thinking, oh man, I got 80 miles to do today, it's like, okay, well, let's focus on 1 hour at a time, maximize that hour, and try to get as many miles in that hour as possible while still being sustainable for that entire course. On the run's completely different. The run is my baby. I love it. My mind just wanders. Like on the run is when my mind becomes creative and it kind of wanders off. I don't get that runner's high. I don't know if I've ever experienced the runner's high, but I definitely do get creative. Like my mind clears of everything, and I can focus on like a lot of creative aspects of business, like Bare Performance Nutrition, new products, new campaigns, new marketing strategies, just like deep thoughts about like discipline and motivation in the book I'm writing right now, and all these thought processes. The run is where my mind is super clear, and I can focus on these specific things that I couldn't throughout the day. Like if my mind is so distracted throughout the day, when I run, it clears, and I can just boom, 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 knock things out and just get so creative. So that's the way I kind of look at my training right now. Break it up into these small pieces that when you put together, okay, you knock out that whole brick workout for the day. There's all these little goals along the way, all these checks and balances I'm knocking off to get to the finish line. I've gotten this question a lot. Am I really going to wear a black tri-suit for the Ironman? Everyone's saying I'm going to overheat because of the black tri-suit. And believe it or not, like based off, and I'm wearing a Roka suit. Based off of like the materials they use in these suits, the color of your suit really doesn't make a massive difference. Like if I would wear a white suit as opposed to a black suit, the black suit isn't going to make me super hot and absorb heat. Like you see the pros all the time wearing dark suits. And it doesn't make a massive difference. So yeah, I'm going to wear a black tri-suit on the day of the race. But like by no means is that going to make me overheat or get hotter than if I were wearing like a white suit or a lighter colored suit. Let's wrap it up with a good one. Does my junk ever go numb on the bike, or does it ever hurt? And to be honest, no. Like I've gotten DMs from people saying like, yo, I hopped on a bike for 10 miles, my junk went numb, I didn't know what to do. And that doesn't happen to me. Like, to believe it or not, I haven't had any discomfort with my ass or my butt cheeks at all being on the seat for that long of time. Like for 5 or 6 hours on the bike, like obviously towards the end, okay, it's a little uncomfortable, but like my butt is never sore the next day. My butt never hurts, and my junk never goes numb, which, thank God. It'd be unfortunate, but I don't have that issue. I haven't had the issue. The seat's not uncomfortable. People have been telling me like, you gotta change your seat. Your seat sucks. Like your seat isn't gonna make it through. Seat's worked for me. Like it's perfect for me. So like what I'm learning throughout this whole triathlon process is, and this is like when I transitioned into CrossFit a few years ago. I did it because I wanted to learn more about the sport. I wanted to humble myself and like start from scratch and learn these things. Because I'm a guy that never did triathlons before signing up for this Ironman. I never like swam competitively. Like swimming to me was hopping in my parents' pool and playing like a game with my friends in high school or college. I never swam laps. So when it came to swimming laps, okay, I had to learn that. Like I've said, my first swim was 25 yards, and I finished those 25 yards like coming out of the water, gasping for air, like, and now it's like I'll do 2,000 yards and I'll walk out of the water breathing normal. It's learning those things. That's what this whole triathlon prep, this Ironman prep has been for me. It's learning from not knowing anything about this sport to learning a lot. And then taking those things I've learned and applying that to fitness as a whole. Like, that's why I'm doing this. That's why I love doing these things. I love every aspect of fitness. I love bodybuilding. I love powerlifting. I love CrossFit. I love endurance stuff. I like running a lot more than I like swimming and biking. I'll be honest about that. But I love it all. And I've learned so much throughout this entire process. So by no means am I an expert. Like, by no means am I an expert on this kind of stuff. And by no means can I program triathlon stuff on my own. And that's why I have a coach. But I'm learning a lot throughout this process, and it's been fun, it's been humbling, it's kicked my ass, and I'm in pretty darn good shape right now. I will end it at this. The only other times I have veins on my abs is when I diet down for like extended periods of times, like weeks and months. And at that point, I have veins all over my abs. You know, there's days now where I consume, like I said, 7,000 calories. I haven't dieted at all throughout this entire process. And I'm probably at one of the leanest body fats I've ever been, where veins are all over my abs. So I started like 215, 220 pounds in late May. And after my last Burke workout last week, I was 190. But I'm probably sitting like 195 in the morning right now. So I've lost some weight. I've lost like about 20 plus pounds throughout this prep so far. And shit, it's been fun. But I'm excited to see what happens the next 6 weeks, moving into Ironman Panama City. Thanks for submitting the questions. Like I said, if you're not following me on Instagram, make sure you are at Nick Bear Fitness. See you guys in the next video.